Today's adventure takes us to the majestic Lake Tabeo. We're up bright and early, starting our journey at 4 a.m. from Parañaque City and heading towards Tiplex. I'm excited to take you all along for the ride. We've finally made it to Canyon Road, and it's a relief to have some open road ahead of us. The sun is starting to rise and the sky is slowly turning from black to shades of pink and orange. I'm feeling pretty excited about our destination and can't wait to see the Lake Tabeo. We take the Benguet-Nueva Vizcaya Road, where we greeted by stunning views of mountains and lush greenery. We drive past small towns and villages, seeing the daily lives of the locals. It's fascinating to see the different cultures and traditions of people in this part of the Philippines. As we make our way to Kabayan, Baguis, and Abatan, we take a Bukod Kabayan, Baguis, Abatan road. The road is winding and the scenery is simply breathtaking. We make frequent stops to take photos and enjoy the views. The fresh air and cool breeze are welcome change from the city. After a long 9-hour drive, we finally arrive at our destination, and I'm excited to share this experience with you all. We arrive at, I think, 1 p.m. in the afternoon. The journey to Lake Tabeo was long, but it was definitely worth it. We drove through winding roads, saw stunning mountain views along the way. The drive was tiring, but the beauty of the scenery made it worth it. We start setting up our camp for the night. We pitch our tents and start preparing all the things we need for the evening as the sun starts to set. But before we could relax, we need to do some registration and payment first. We head over to the DNR registration booth to get our permits for camping in the area. We're informed that there's also another payment required for camping on the site. We find out that we need to pay the owner of the campsite as well. It takes a bit of time, but we finally sort out all the necessary paperwork and payment.
Bella! Hey!
Another useful tip is to bring ice along with you on your trip. You can buy some ice on the way, as we did in Baguio. Fortunately, charcoal is readily available at the campsite, as the owner sells it. Additionally, it's important to bring jackets, gloves, and something to keep your head warm, as the temperature can get very cold in the area. It's important to note that there's no internet or data signal in the area. If you're someone who relies heavily on technology, it's best to prepare accordingly, considering downloading offline maps, music, and movies before your trip. And bring books or board games to keep yourself entertained. Embrace the opportunity to disconnect from online world and enjoy the natural beauty around you. Finally, we've finished setting up everything. We've noticed that there are a couple of car campers and mountaineers in the campsite. The campsite provides its own CR for free, there where you can take a bath. However, it's important to note that the water is super cold. Additionally, the owner provides free water for cooking. In the afternoon, you'll notice that clouds or fog start to roll in, covering the surrounding mountains and lake.
Oh my gosh, ang ganda.
As the temperature drops, it's important to have jackets and warm clothing to keep yourself comfortable. It's amazing to see how the changing weather conditions can transform the scenery of the lake and its surroundings. Don't forget to take pictures of the stunning views. It's worth noting that there are also vendors selling plants in the area, and the prices are quite reasonable. During our trip, we were able to purchase a plant for only 800 pesos. If you're someone who loves plants or gardening, this is a great opportunity to get some new additions for your collection. Just be sure to have a safe way to transport them back home. My wife and I also made sure to prepare some drinks for our socials. It was important for us to have our own special moment together during this trip. We enjoyed sipping on our drinks while gazing at the beautiful scenery around us. It was the perfect way to relax and unwind after a long day of driving and exploring. As night fell, we started cooking our dinner so we could sleep early. The weather that night was quite windy and a bit of rain, so we wanted to make sure we were well rested for the next day's adventure. Despite the weather, we were able to enjoy a warm and hearty meal, which was the perfect way to end a long day of traveling and exploring. I woke up at around 5 a.m. to a freezing cold morning with heavy winds. It was difficult to leave the tent because of the cold. After checking that my tent poles, pegs, and ropes were still in place, I started making my coffee and preparing soup and breakfast. We planned to head back home as early as possible since it's a 9-hour drive. So we wanted to make sure we had a good breakfast to fuel us for the journey. Despite the cold and windy weather, we were able to enjoy a warm and satisfying meal before packing up our things and hitting the road. Before leaving the campsite, we made sure to clean up after ourselves and leave no trace of our stay. We gathered our trash and disposed it properly, making sure to follow the principles of leave no trace. We also thank the owner of the campsite for their hospitality and for providing us with a great place to stay during our trip. As we drove back home, we wouldn't help but feel grateful for the opportunity to experience such a beautiful and peaceful place. Our trip to Lake Tabeo was definitely worth the long drive and the cold weather. We would highly recommend this destination to anyone who loves nature, camping, and adventure. We also stopped for lunch at a viewpoint along Benguet-Nueva Vizcaya Road. The food was both cheap and delicious, and we highly recommend this stopover. Aside from the great food, the viewpoint offered a beautiful view of a river stream. It was the perfect place to rest and enjoy the scenery before continuing our journey back home. We hope you enjoyed coming along with us on our journey to Lake Tabeo. Camping is such a beautiful location. Was truly an unforgettable experience. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and subscribe to our channel for more adventures like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.